Yo, time to wake 'em up!
Bonjour et bienvenue sur Discover 360. J'espère que cette chaîne vous plaira. Elle est consacrée à l'intelligence artificielle, au voyage et à la tech.
Yo, check the mic, 1, 2.
N'oubliez pas de souscrire. Bonne écoute.
Next cipher begin.
Okay, so we've all gotten pretty used to AI that can chat with us, right? It writes emails, summarizes articles. It's cool. But honestly, that's just scratching the surface. The real revolution, the stuff that's happening right now, is seeing AI learn not just to talk, but to actually do things. So, let's pull back the curtain and look at the secret mechanism that's making it all happen.
First things first, we've got to get this key difference straight. You've got your standard chatbot, which is basically a conversational assistant. You ask a question, it gives you an answer. Simple. But then you have the AI agent, and this is a whole different beast. Think of it as an autonomous actor, something that can execute complex goals all on its own. We're not talking about a small upgrade here. This is a completely new way of thinking about AI.
So, at the heart of all this is the large language model, the LLM. And you can think of it like this brilliant brain. It can reason, it can understand super complex ideas, but there's a huge catch. It's like a brain isolated in a jar. By its very nature, it's completely cut off from the real world. It only knows what it was trained on. So ask it about today's weather or your company's latest sales numbers, it has absolutely no clue. And that brings us to the fundamental challenge that everyone in this space is trying to solve right now. How do you take this brilliant but totally isolated brain and actually connect it to the real world? How do you give it hands so it can actually do stuff, interact with live data, and use external systems? Well, the answer is what we call the AI agent. This is the architecture that finally connects that powerful brain to a set of hands. It's the complete system that bridges that huge gap between just thinking and actually doing. So let's break down how an agent is built. It's actually pretty intuitive when you think about it this way. First, you have the model. That's the brain, the core reasoning part. Then you have the tools. These are the hands that let it actually interact with things. And finally, you have the orchestration layer. This is like the nervous system, connecting the brain to the hands and making sure everything works together smoothly. Okay, let's zoom in on those tools for a minute, because this is where the magic really happens. The tools are what give an agent its superpowers. And a tool can be almost anything that connects the AI to the outside world. We're talking about calling an API to get the weather, or running a query on a database, or even executing a script that fires off an email. This is the crucial bit that turns a know-it-all AI into an AI that can actually get stuff done.
All right, so how does this connection actually work? How does the brain give precise, reliable instructions to the hands? Well, the secret sauce, the core mechanism, is something called function calling.
And this quote here really nails it. The big leap forward wasn't just getting the AI to understand our prompts better. No, the real breakthrough was getting the LLM to generate a structured command, basically a little piece of code that another machine can understand and execute perfectly every single time.
To put it simply, function calling is when the LLM, instead of just generating plain English back at you, spits out a precise machine-readable command. It's usually in a format called JSON, and this command tells the system exactly which tool to use and exactly what information to give it.
And here's exactly what that looks like in practice. Let's say you ask the agent for the weather in Tokyo. Instead of just writing a sentence, its thought process generates this structured output. You can see it clearly identifies the function name getWeather and the specific arguments it needs, like the city being Tokyo. There's zero ambiguity here. It is a crystal clear, direct order from the brain to the hands.
Now, this whole process isn't just random guesswork. It's all built on a foundation of trust and total clarity. For this to work over and over again, the agent and the tool have to speak the exact same language, and they do that using a sort of contract, often defined by something like the OpenAPI specification. This contract tells the AI agent exactly what a tool is capable of, what information it needs to work, and what kind of answer it's going to get back. So how does this all fit together into a working process? Well, that orchestration layer we talked about, the nervous system, it runs on a continuous loop. And you can boil this entire loop down to 3 really simple steps: think, act, and observe. And you can see that loop in action right here in this diagram. It all starts when the agent gets a request. It gathers all the context it needs and then kicks off its core cycle. It uses the brain, the LLM, and its hands, the tools, gets a result back, and then decides, is the job done or do I need to go around the loop again? This is the fundamental engine that powers the whole thing. Let's actually walk through our weather examples step by step.
So when the agent gets the request for Tokyo's weather, the first thing it does is think. The LLM brain kicks in, reasons about the goal, and comes up with a plan. In this case, it's pretty simple. Okay, to get this answer, I need to use my weather tool for Tokyo.
Okay, next up, the agent moves into the act phase. This is the moment function calling actually happens. The nervous system takes that plan from the think step and executes it. It calls the get weather tool and passes in Tokyo as the argument. This is the agent physically, well, digitally, doing something in the real world.
And finally, the agent enters the observe phase. It gets the result back from the tool, 25 degrees Celsius and sunny. It takes this new piece of info and adds it to its memory. The brain then looks at this result and goes, "Yep, I've got what I needed." The goal is met, the task is complete, and now it can give the user the final answer.
All right, so why does any of this matter? What's the big deal? Well, it's because this simple loop, powered by function calling, completely unlocks a new way of working with AI. We're moving way beyond just having a chat. We're stepping into a world of genuine collaboration. I mean, just think about the kinds of things this opens up. We're talking about automating really complex business workflows. We're giving AI access to live, up-to-the-second data. We're letting it interact directly with your databases, your CRM, any external service you can think of. It can even write and run its own code to solve problems it's never seen before. And really, here's the bottom line. An AI agent with function calling isn't just a chatbot anymore. It's an autonomous actor. It's something you can give a goal to, and it will see it through from start to finish. It really starts to feel less like a simple tool and a lot more like a super capable, super efficient new member of your team.
Which of course leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to chew on. As this technology keeps getting better and better, as these systems evolve from simple assistants into true collaborators, you have to wonder, is your next colleague going to be an AI agent?
Hey, if you liked this deep dive and found it useful, do us a favor and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.